Hi, I'm Mr. Kang. So today about Mathematics Form 1, we are going to learn Chapter 5, Algebraic Expressions. Okay, 5.1 is about variables and algebraic expressions. So what it means by variables? So a variable is a letter. Letter means alphabet. Alphabet A, B, C, and so on. Okay, so a variable is a letter used to stand for a number. We use a letter to present a number. The letters like X, Y, Z, A, B, C, M, and N are probably the most commonly used variables. That means we usually use these letters. Okay. The letters E and I have a special values in algebra and are usually not used as variables. So we don't use E and I to represent a number. The letter O also is usually not used because it can be mistaken for 0. It's O like 0 also. So from here we know that a variable has a fixed value. Fixed value. So if the variable represented quantity is always constant at any time, this variable has a fixed value because it is constant. A variable has a variable value if the represented quantity changes over time. Right? That means the value always change. That's why we call this variable variable value. Okay, we can see these examples. So to represent each of the following variables with an appropriate letter, we use letter. Hence, determine whether the variable has a fixed value or a variable value. We want to determine whether this variable is fixed value or variable value. Okay, justify your answers. Okay, we see the number 1A. The annual interest rate for a fixed deposit offered by a bank. So when we save the money inside the bank for a fixed deposit, so the bank will give us interest. Okay, interest. So this interest rate, is it fixed value or variable value? If I use K to represent the annual interest rate for a fixed deposit, so if I use K to represent this interest rate, so is this K fixed value or variable value? K has a fixed value because the interest rate for the fixed deposit does not change throughout the year. Okay, that means the whole year this interest rate will not change. That's why we call it fixed value. Look at the B. The traveling time taken by Faisal from his house to the school every day. Okay, if I use T to represent the traveling time taken by Faisal, huh? T is the time. So we want to determine whether this T is it fixed value or variable value. T has a variable value because the traveling time of Faisal changes every day. Sometimes very fast, sometimes very slow. That's why we call it this T has a variable value. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.